Welcome into Friday Night Fever alongside Semi Roebuck. I'm at St. Jean. Is there anything better than playoff football?
No. It gives us more stakes, more skin in the game. Pun intended, football.
Football, pigskin. Yeah, we got there. Yeah, we get it.
Just in case those at home didn't really know where I was going.
Oh, man, it's playoff football, and the atmospheres out there were electric tonight, including our game of the week, which was in Fulton.
No doubt.
The Friday Night Fever Game of the Week is sponsored by Game Day Haircuts.
Itawamba won the first meeting 49-7, but in the early goings, it was the defense who stood tall for both sides. First quarter, Connor Armstrong, maybe a little miscommunication, threw it right to Laith Holiday, and he had nothing but green in front of him. Pick six to the house for the opening score of the game, 7-0. Itawamba, and the Holidays, they loved it. Got to have a short memory if you're a QB. In the very next drive, Armstrong heaved a deep ball, perfect pass to Nick Townsend. Great catch, big gain, but Pontotoc could only manage a field goal. Second quarter now, 7-3 after a bad punt. Pontotoc in good field position. Armstrong tried another heave. This time it ran out of juice, and Isaac Smith camped right under it. Good return. Itawamba back in business, or so they thought. Trying to capitalize on the momentum, Ty Davis was like, hey, I want to go deep too, but he went too deep. Davion, I want to talk to Sampson, made the over-the-shoulder grab, tackled at the 1-yard line. Pontotoc got some breathing room, but when you throw over the middle, you got to watch out for the Sharks. And, oh, baby! Isaac Smith, a hit that sent ooze through the Fulton Stadium. Indians forced a Warrior punt. Next possession, Smith rode that big hit momentum, took the handoff right up the middle, down at the 1-yard line. And why not give the kid the rock again? Smith powered his way into the end zone to put Itawamba up 14-3. Indians kept the mo going into the second half and advanced to the next round with a 38-6 win. They'll host Senatobia next week.
The Baldwin Bearcats hosted the East Webster Wolverines first round of the 2A playoffs tonight. Everything was on the line. Winner takes all. Let's hit those highlights. Huge defensive battle tonight. Baldwin ball. Jamari Marshall looking to make a play, but he is sacked by number 20, Prentice Cork for a loss there. And that was a good play.
That was a great play.
East Webster with the ball now. Caleb Warnock hands off to number 7, Digon Crowley, who is met by a big wall of Bearcats with nowhere to go. That defensive battle I was talking about. Marshall looking to make a play here. Finds Haston Nelson down the sidelines for a first down. For a solid first down. And I must have been bad luck because they ended up scoring when I left. East Webster scored with 3 minutes left, but Baldwin stuffed the Wolverines on that 2-point conversion, and Baldwin ended up scoring that win, 21-20, surviving the scare of a playoff loss.
Halloween continues.
They'll move on to face Northside in round 2 next week.
All right, let's go to Houston, where the Hilltoppers hosted the Shannon Red Raiders. And look at that. Ooh, fireworks. Shannon with the ball. Trayshawn Spurgeon dropped back to pass. Hit hard by Chris Parker for the sack lunch. Num, 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 num. Houston ball now. Steele Brooks back to pass. Aired it out, going deep for E.J. Sobal. And I love that shot of the ball going through the air. That was good for 40 yards, but Houston couldn't get any points. It was scoreless after 1. Second quarter, Brooks showed off the arm. How about them legs? Shuffle those puppies, QB1. 20 yards in for the score. 2-point was good. 8-0 Toppers. Shannon trying to answer. Spurgeon decked again, this time by Douglas Jones. Ball came free. Jordan Pratt scooped it up, and he gone. Toppers cruise past the Red Raiders into the second round with a 31-14 win. They'll host West Lauderdale next Friday.
East Union Urchins hosted the Calhoun City Wildcats. Now, the QB1 for the Urchins was hurt before I got there and did not return to the game, but I don't know that that made much of a difference because Calhoun City came to play tonight. Number 12, Jalen Williams, looking to pass, fires to Zach Armstrong for a touchdown as soon as I got there. Great welcome for me as I had 0 points in the previous game. 2-point conversion was good. 30-0, end of the second quarter. Now we're in the third quarter. Urchin ball. Heath Wilkinson, that QB2, looking to make a play, but he's tackled by number 6. Big sack loss there, and the crowd was unmatched for Sea City tonight. Wildcat ball looking to make another touchdown. Hands off to Jackson Cook, who has Green in front of him, picks up a great block there, and all the way to the end zone for a touchdown again. 2-point conversion was also good, and that was 38-0, and I said that's enough for me. So then I headed out, but the Urchins did end up scoring 12 points, but not enough to secure that win, and Sea City will be facing Charleston in round 2 next week.
Those Calhoun City fans, they don't mess around. We love to see it. All right, elsewhere in playoff action, Kossuth, they advance over Holly Springs. Winona, they held serve at home over Nettleton, 43-7. And this game was really close, and then Independence pulled away at the end to down the Boonville Blue Devils. Mantachi, high-scoring affair, but North Panola advances. We'll hear from them a little bit later on. Noxubee County, they beat Amanda Elsie. And Aberdeen, they go on the road and pick up the win 24-16. Next one, there we go. Louisville, they get a shutout in the opening round against Greenville. Or Greenwood.
If you would.
Greenville. I could if I would, and I probably should. Senatobia, they outlasted Kosciuszko 17-16. Heritage Academy and MAIS action, they advanced to the next round 48-24. And finally, Adams County Christian and Winston Academy, a tight game, but Adams County Christian came away with the victory. Alrighty, a lot of good stuff.
Can't get better. Like we said, can't get better than playoff football.
But we might get better after the break because we have way more highlights, way more high school action coming your way after the break. But before we get there, let's say hello to our cheer team of the week, shall we? Hi.
We are Etowah! We are Etowah! We are Etowah! We are Etowah!
Fever Cheer Squad of the Week is sponsored by Magnolia Soap and Bath Company.
Welcome back to Friday Night Fever. We've got way more highlights on the way, including some more 4A action. We saw Houston take the victory in our first little segment. Now we're going to head to Ripley, where we found the Corinth Warriors taking on the Ripley Tigers. Ripley only one loss on the regular season. They are a very good team, and they showed it early on. Ty Long, the Giant of the Week, with a giant performance early in this game. Great pass to Ja'Kai Holmes for a 40-yard touchdown, and he was not done in the first quarter because Ripley went on the drive again, and here he is again, passing again and scoring a touchdown again. This time to Chad Martin to put the Tigers up 14-0. And what's life without a little comedy here? So Ty Long goes back to pass, can't find anyone, takes off. Oh no, Garner, get out of the way! Ah! Oh!
I've been there, you know.
Yeah, he got. This is the second night in a row he got run into by a player. Kid's a trooper.
He's not
a big guy either, and he survived.
He's not. It's true.
You know who did survive in this game were the Ripley Tigers. They go on to win 24-3. They advance to the next round, setting up a showdown with the Louisville Wildcats. That will be a great one.
Yazoo County traveled to Amory tonight to see another group of Panthers versus Panthers, and the Yazoo coaches were looking to play spoiler in the first round playoff action. Here we go. Quarterback hands off to Jarrett Jasper, and he runs a good 10-yard gain. Fourth down, looks like it. Yazoo to kick the field goal. High snap, and it's picked up in the end zone. Turnover for Amory.
Close. That was a close play.
Crazy. They tried. They tried.
Real hard.
A few plays later, Jatarian Ware hands off to Charleston French, and he does what he does best. Scores a 5-yard touchdown. Extra point was good. 7-0 Amory. Late in the first quarter, Yazoo looking to make a pass, and it's bumped off a helmet and intercepted by number 14, Dorian Ewings. What a play there. Early in the second quarter, Jatarian Ware hands off Charleston French, and look at the little guy go all the way for another touchdown. Extra point was good again. And Amory went on to win 53-7, as it looked like, and they'll play North Panola next week.
Oh, that's another good one. That's in the running for Game of the Week, I think. Game of the Week. All right. Ooh. Here we go. Let's go to Caledonia. They hosted the New Albany Bulldogs. Caledonia coming off a big win over Shannon to host this game. Tough to stop the running attack, but big 95 Emmanuel Tucker stuffs that run. And he's just a freshman? What's in the water in New Albany? Jeez. A couple plays later, Caledonia with the option to pitch out to Braden Walters. And he got some running room all the way inside the 20-yard line. Caledonia on the march, and that dude is juiced, to say the least. But later in the drive, shaky handoff, Jaden Hicks got a paw on it and poked it free. New Albany recovered. This was a close one throughout. Caledonia, though, they stay alive. They had a really rough start to the season, and what happens? It doesn't matter because it's the playoffs. They're in it, and they're moving on to the next round. They'll travel to Clarksdale next week. All right, 1A, 5A, 6A. Sammy, they played last night. Now their playoffs are set, so take us through what's going on next week.
So Biggersville, as they just finished their undefeated season, is going to play against West Tallahatchie, and the Simmons are going to play against Smithville, and then South Delta is going to play against Okolona.
Right, and we have some 1A teams down in the South. Hamilton will take on Resurrection. They had an undefeated season as well, so they'll host that game. Vardaman, because they lost last night to West Lowndes, they have to travel to Taylorsville. West Lowndes, because they won, they get to host, and they take perennial powerhouse Lumberton in the first round.
And West Point is going to play against Holmes County. And Neshoba Central is going to play against Columbus. And Callaway is going to play against our very own Lafayette of Oxford.
Yeah, Commodores. All right, 6A action. Just two teams in it, but they're favorites. Starkville, they snuck their way into the playoffs. They'll have to travel up to South Haven, and Tupelo, because they are the district champs, they will host the Lewisburg Patriots. So
Also
we're
undefeated.
looking forward to that action next week, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, should be fun.
More playoffs.
Could be
more
fun.
skin in the game.
Who knows? We'll be here. But guess what? Ethan Foster, he's been waiting oh so patiently to give you the updates from down where he's at, and we'll get to him right after the break. But before Ethan, we got to show some love to the band Itawamba. They swept it all tonight. Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's game is the WCBK Friday Night Fever Game of the Week.
Friday Night Fever Game of the Week is sponsored by Northeast Mississippi Community College.
Ethan Foster, he's like our Friday Night Fever Carmen Sandiego. Where in Northeast Mississippi is Easton Foster? Ethan Foster. He is in Ackerman. And he was at a 2A playoff game tonight. I've lost it. I went on my Carmen Sandiego bit. Ethan, I'm sorry, man. I lost it a little bit. But you're in Ackerman, and you got a great game between Choctaw County and Belmont. What's up, dude?
Well, Matt, you said it best. You never know where you're going to find me. Missed out being at Hamilton last night. We'll get back to that in a little bit later. But first, we got Choctaw County and Belmont. Now, taking a look at these teams going into the game, both with 4 and 5 overall records this season and both with 3 district wins. Let's see how it played out tonight. Now, after the first quarter, Belmont up 7-6. By halftime, Choctaw County taking the lead 28-14. They had just scored again when I got here in the third quarter. They actually kicked off to Belmont and then recovered the kick back on offense. Jalen James handed the ball off to Antonio Kennedy. He took that one down to the end zone with a little footwork at the end. There was some confusion initially with the refs, but they did rule it a touchdown. Going back again on offense, James passed down to his right. He found Caleb Cunningham, who got away from 2 defenders for about a 20-yard score on the edge there. Extra point was good. Chargers went up 47-14. Now watch out for Cunningham. He's got D1 offers from Oregon to Florida and even from Bama and Georgia. That put the score again up 47-14. Now after recovering the following kickoff right after that, James handed off to his man Antonio Kennedy again. He marched it down and back in the end zone for another score. Now, he had at least 4 touchdowns tonight that I know of, and you've seen 2 of them in this highlight so far. Now, the extra point was good. That put the lead up to 40 points, 54-14 at the start of the fourth quarter, but it just wasn't enough to stop early in the game for the Choctaw County Chargers. They won a huge one here tonight, and they finished the game with a final score of 61-14. Now, let me just remind you, the score in this game was 28-14 at halftime. Matt was texting me while I was on the road. I was barely looking down. I was eyes on the road, safe, of course. But he told me it was 14-13 at one point. So this game really shifted quickly. The Chargers really ran away with it in the fourth quarter. It seemed like every time I would look away and then look back, they were scoring again, and of course Caleb Cunningham got one in there. Antonio Kennedy having a big night, and Jalen James making it all happen at quarterback too. Now, Choctaw County's moving on to the second round of the playoffs. They'll have the winner of the LaFleur County-Palmer game tonight, and of course that is LaFleur County. They won 40-6 over Palmer tonight. So Choctaw County traveling to LaFleur County on the road next week. And another game that you can't let you forget about that's coming up next week. A lot of playoff games tonight that have started. But next week, back in my hometown, as Sammy likes to say, one of my favorite places to be on earth, the Hamilton Lions, they're back at home next week to take on Resurrection. Maybe you'll see me at that one there next week for their first round. But tonight, good one for Choctaw County. Until next time, when you see me, wherever you see me, reporting live here in Ackerman for Friday Night Fever, I'm Ethan Foster for WTVA 9 Sports. Matt, back to you.
It's not an Ethan Foster live hit without mentioning the undefeated Hamilton Lions. All right, let's go to Eupora. The Eagles hosted the Walnut Wildcats in round 1 of the 2A state playoffs. Both teams made it to the second round back in 2020 and did not make it any further. The Eagles obviously coming into this game as the favorite, and they acted like it. There's Ty Murphy. That dude is elite. 60 yards for the touchdown. 2-point conversion was no good. That put the Eagles up 6-0. Following drive, Walnut ball, QB looking deep. Eupora, though, they're going to camp under that one. Oh, take it away from him. Tab Powell to snatch the ball out of the air, and then he took it to the house. 35 yards for the touchdown. 2-point conversion this time was good. That put the Eagles up 14-0. This is after the pick six now. Walnut with the ball. The quarterback back to pass and intercepted yet again by the Eagles. And guess who? Tab Powell gets another interception, back-to-back picks for that man. No score this time, but he did set up Eupora with good field position. Murphy handed off to Jesse Sudduth for a 26-yard rushing touchdown. See you later. That put the Eagles up 22-0 in the first quarter. Eupora, you guessed it, they won 43-14. They'll play Jay-Z George next week. Alrighty, did you see any giants among us? 4 players shall enter, 1 shall win. Antonio Kennedy, he was on the ballot last week, didn't win. Just by the highlights I saw tonight, yeah, he'll probably get nominated again. And maybe he'll win. Or maybe it'll be someone else. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the tape and see which other 3 guys, which other 3 dudes took it to the next level for our Giant of the Week. Alrighty, Sammy and I will be right back after the break. Matt Laban will join us to take a look at some of that nasty weather that's coming our way. That's in just a few minutes.